And hello, folks. On a Thursday, I'm going to start you off with the drought monitor. We got the new one this week, just now getting updated here with this product. So we see the largest deficit of rain apparently over in our eastern areas, according to this, from the Alexandria Pineville Metro eastward through Avoyelles Parish, portions of Catahoula, Concordia, and LaSalle parishes, and maybe clipping into extreme northeast corner of Evangeline and far northern St. Landry. Elsewhere, you see a lesser state of dry conditions there. So the bottom line is, and the reason I'm showing this is, we need rain, but are we going to get it? So I've got the forecast coming up in just a bit. Right now, this is the view from Rapides Regional Medical Center. Thank those folks for this tower cam. And you see the visibility is reduced. No, it's not rain. It is smoke from a controlled burn down to the southwest of Alexandria. And I can show you that on the radar in just a bit. But go over to LeCount. I got the camera there, and you can see the difference. Just clouds, no smoke over in that direction. The importance of wind in driving these smoke plumes into an area or away from an area. So coming up, I'll be looking at these things. Enjoy a delightful weekend. It's going to be a really special weekend ahead, so take time out to go outdoors and enjoy it. Rain chances return next week, but at least from the standpoint of the 7-day forecast, not much. Important outlooks will follow the 7-day forecast, and so please stay tuned for that information. So the radar is showing that controlled burn right here across the southwest. We've got some rainfall down to the south of us, moving northeast. So let me get a little bit closer look at that controlled burn, and I'll see maybe if I can go and I think we could go back about 3 hours, maybe get it. Yeah, right there. And you see that smoke plume coming up into Alexandria especially. So, all right, that's my point that I was making there. All right, so let's go beyond this now out of the radar into the satellite and radar where the little front is heading in our direction. Not a lot associated with it. Much of the thrust of this and the stronger weather will be off to the east of us, better rain chances, but we still have a little hope here for the remainder of the night into the very wee early hours there for Friday morning. So Futurecast says that if you're going to be out around 8 o'clock, there's still a chance of a stray shower or even a thunderstorm. Cannot rule out a thunderstorm with this. And then that will continue through about midnight or so. And once we get into your commute time, 7 o'clock in the morning, I think it's pretty much out of here. Now, if you're a very early commuter, you're about 4 o'clock, you may still see a chance of a sprinkle or shower, but even there, it's going to be very, very low coverage. So looking at the satellite, looking at the Futurecast, 5 p.m. Tomorrow with your evening commute, no issues there. Pretty good weather there. And then going into Saturday morning, it is 7 o'clock. Maybe you want to get out, do a little fishing or something like that. Looks like we'll see a pretty good start that morning, maybe some clouds early. And then grocery shopping there by mid-morning Saturday, getting some sunshine back in the forecast there. All right, I'm fooling around with the bubbles of air right now, so I just kind of let this play out until next Tuesday. One of the headlines is the cold air, of course, retreating out of our area from the little cool spell we had a few days ago. That's definitely out of here, as you know. But I wanted to track these pieces of energy. Remember, this is why the weather changes, is these dynamic systems. This is the temperature pattern. Remember, sometimes I show the energy that changes weather, and sometimes I show the wind structure there with this. So I'm going to look at the temperature signature because in some respects this is one of the more easy ones to interpret and find. So Tuesday we have a disturbance out west, and as that moves to the northeast, the Gulf is going to respond to that and bring in some moisture. This warm air that we're having here, it's a very warm pattern. Remember, warm air is capable of holding more moisture than cold air. And so once we get the temperatures up, that air can hold moisture as it comes in from the Gulf. For the most part, you can see that energy passes to the north of us. But once we get in, and that takes us through the 7-day forecast. Now, looking into Friday, we're past the 7-day forecast. We're into the 8 to 14 day, what I call week 2, beyond the 7-day forecast. Okay, so we have looks like a bigger disturbance dropping a little bit further to the south, and there may be a little bit more of a direct hit after that time frame. So we've got some hope for some rain, I think. 20% in the AM Friday, very early. 80 for your high, 81 Saturday. A little cooler Saturday morning, a mixture of some upper 40s and lower 50s, basically. And then Sunday, partly cloudy, 54 to 80. So that's your beautiful weekend. And it continues into early next week, 79, 80 for your highs, lows in the upper 50s. These numbers well above where we should be for this time of year. And then I've got 20 and 30% rain chances coming into the forecast, explicitly a few showers and thunderstorms there for Thursday with that first piece of energy I showed you. And now let's go beyond this into the temperature outlook for March 6th through the 12th. This is week 2. All right, so almost all of the United States above normal in temperature except the near normal area out west. And this is going to be a huge warm up for our friends back east, which are just screaming for warm weather after a protracted period of cold weather. For us, these numbers mean that temperatures will be well above a 48 low and 69 high, which is typical for that week. More importantly, here's your rainfall forecast, and we haven't seen this in a while. We're right smack dab in a above normal, a wet bubble right there. Okay, that extends up into the Great Lakes and out across South and Southwest Texas. Okay, so there's going to be a zone right through there as these pieces of energy come out of the west, lift out, moisture responds to them, and there's mixing of air with fronts and that kind of thing. This looks like the zone where we see the best chance of more than an inch of rain during that time frame, and that would be likely. More rain gauges getting that than not. But the downside to this is, yeah, if we want the rain, we're going to have some storms and they're able to do it. And so, depending on how these weather systems, whether they stay well north of us or they come down closer to us, that's going to have a bearing and an influence on, okay, how much severe weather is going to happen during that week. Okay, from a minimum that I see is that we've had a tranquil period lately, that we may be in for some more active weather during that week. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks for being with me and bearing with me. Nick is back in the morning with his stream. I'll be back in the PM hours for mine and in the Forecast Center.